Hello, my name is Mars, and welcome back to Scarlet Hollow. It's ghost hunting time. Time to experience what was, in my first playthrough at least, my favorite sequence of the entire game. I think that what is to come is terrifying and kind of beautiful. So let's just jump into it. Lit by the orange hues of the setting sun, the library feels different. What was once a quaint building in a small town now stands as an imposing structure, its walls holding something that stares back at you with menace. Maybe Stella is right. Maybe ghosts aren't real, and the rest of tonight is going to be a pleasant break from the events of the past few days. Your thoughts jump to the ghost books you've read over the years. So often, the ghosts in stories are metaphors for something else. Are real ghosts metaphors too? Enter the library. Just as its exterior was intimidating in the setting sun, the inside of the library is dark, its shadows deep and foreboding. Oh, there's Pixel. Hi, Pixel. The meet and greet with the mayor ended quite some time ago, and the throngs of visitors took whatever joy was in this place with them as they left. Hey, Oscar! Are you back yet? Shh! You can't yell in a library. It's against the rules. It's after hours. Rules only apply before 5 p.m. Now it's our domain. Hey, you're here sooner than I expected. Hope dinner went okay? Yeah, it went okay. Reese wasn't feeling up for a longer hangout, unfortunately. I'm sorry to hear that. It's okay, just means we have more time to hunt ghosts. I've come fully loaded. Got my EMF reader, temperature gauge, spirit box, infrared camera, UV light, video cameras, salt, flashlights for everybody in case the ghost messes with the electricity, parabolic microphone, Sharpies and paper for automatic writing, matches and candles for rituals. And you've got your spectre-sniffing compatriot at your side too. This nose can sniff out any ne'er-do-well we might find, whether spirit or scoundrel. Oh, and a Ouija board. I know they're toys, but you never know what might come in handy. Wow, this is a lot of ghost hunting stuff for something that was so last minute. Do you just have this stuff ready to go in a bug-out bag or something? Of course I do. I actually stashed a couple of bags here overnight after I got back from the mines. Excuse me? I wasn't about to carry everything around all day. This way we can go in light and pop out to grab more stuff once things start getting spooky. I may never have found any compelling evidence of ghosts, but that's not for lack of trying. And after last night, I'm more than ready to try again. Aliens again. Those mines were chock full of ghosts last night. After all my fruitless ghost hunts, I'd basically convinced myself that ghosts weren't real. But last night, we saw some really convincing evidence. Oh, Stella, you didn't see anything. Especially those figures you mentioned. Though I'm still 50-50 on whether they were cryptids or ghosts. Hopefully whatever happens tonight will help clear that up. I can't wait to wander through Oscar's house for a few uneventful hours before getting Rosalina tucked into bed. I could use a nice quiet night after everything we went through. I envy your pessimism here, but I suppose it won't be long until we get to the bottom of things. Yo, don't rush off ghost busting without Zane. No way was I gonna forget your promise, Stella. Zane, glad you could make it. I was confronted with my own mortality for the first time yesterday, so I'm desperate for answers about the afterlife to ease my troubled mind. Now let's go mess with some ghosts. My oh my, this certainly is a lot of humans for one little old ghost hunt. I do hope this means my dear Stella will be safe this evening, and that whatever foul creatures lurk in the shadows choose to prey on someone else. Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, Gretchen, but there could be more. Alexis could be here. She was here last time. Avery could be here. We just haven't gotten the opportunity to ask them this time. I wonder what I did differently. I wouldn't have asked them along anyway, because in preparation for the playthrough where I romanced them, I'm avoiding them, that whole thing. Tabitha will be here this time. Tabitha was not here last time. I hope my house is big enough for 5 ghost hunters at once. If this is everyone, we can go ahead and... That's everyone. Wait, what about Tabby? What about her? She's not here. Let's get started. I guess she can catch up to us when she gets here. Is she gonna be here? Maybe the thing with Becca's mom took more time than we thought. Well, if y'all are itching to get started, it's through the back. Follow me. Hey, human. Kick ghost ass, okay? I missed my special tree. You and your companions grab some equipment from one of Stella's carefully stashed bug-out bags before heading towards the junction connecting Oscar's house and the library. Looks like the sun is almost set. This is when stuff usually starts to kick off. I haven't been back inside for about a week, so I have no idea what to expect. Hey! There's no way you're doing this without me. Rosalina, we talked about this. No, you talked at me about it. I'm sick of other people making decisions for me. I just want to be able to live in our house again. I'm going in there and sleeping in my room tonight, no matter what. Oh, can you tell her not to come? Maybe we not bring her. Just to see something different. 'Cause she did come with me last time. I think this is... No, actually, let's let Oscar handle it. I wonder what he'll say. Let the pup come. It's best to give her the chance to face her obstacles head on. Take it from an old soul like me. Rosa, it could be dangerous in there. Just hang out in the library and we'll have this taken care of in a few hours. I don't want to be coddled just because you're scared. If Zane is coming, I have every right to be there. She's got a good point, Mr. G. You're right. I'm sorry, Rosa. Just let me know if it gets to be too much and you want to leave, okay? Okay, so I guess she is coming. Thanks, Dad. Now let's get our house back. You all cross over the threshold and enter Oscar's living room. Family photos line the walls, and stacks of books sit comfortably on wooden furniture. You can imagine long winter nights reading by the fireplace without a care in the world. Okay, looks pretty normal for now. I don't remember that picture being on the floor, but that could be non-supernatural. None of my equipment is picking up anything around the picture. But I'll set up the camera in case it falls again. Could be important evidence. You might want to save your cameras for Rosalina's room. That's where I've seen the ghost manifest. It's just down the hall. Oscar and Kanika startle as the door swings open. Oh, thank goodness she's here. Seems I made it just in time. Let's get the show on the road. I don't have all night. Tabby! Great, she's here. Wow, Diana, you've really brought the whole gang together today. I have every right to be here, Kanika. My family built this place, you know. Yeah, I know. We all know. Diana, what made you think inviting her was a good idea? What? I like her. We're friends. She smiled at that. Really? Yeah, so what? Like it's weird to be friends with your cousin? Wow, Diana, do you have any idea how hard it is to get these two in the same room? This is amazing. Yeah, amazing. That's a word for it. Sounds like we're in for an interesting night. I wonder if the ghost will even show with this many people around. I'm telling you again, Oscar, there could be more. There could be at least 2 more. Oh dear, could someone please warm the air back up? My joints are creaking in this dreadful chill. Wait, is it just me, or does it suddenly feel colder? It sure does. I definitely feel that. The temperature gun says it's actually a couple of degrees colder, but that's normal. Rooms and hallways are sometimes colder than other parts of the house. Whoa, a genuine cold spot. I gotta snap a pic for posterity. Is that it? This isn't very scary. Wait, Rosalina, if the ghost mostly manifests in your room, shouldn't you have seen it? I've only seen the stain. Dad made me switch rooms with him way before we moved out. I wasn't about to let my daughter sleep in a haunted bedroom. I spent most of my nights on the couch before we set up shop in the library. Even if there is something back there, I'm not scared of it. I'm mad at it. Maybe it's just shy. It's possible that it doesn't like crowds. It's only ever shown itself while I was alone. You're welcome then. We busted it just by showing up. I can't believe you were so weak that you were driven out of your house by a ghost that's too afraid to show itself. Dad, you said it usually comes out at night, right? I guess that means it still has time to show up. God, what if it is all just in my head? I'm not sure if it'd be more of a relief or an embarrassment. I don't know. This cold spot is pretty solid evidence, though I won't be satisfied until we see a full-bodied apparition. Yo, Mr. G, how scary does this guy look? Gotta know what to keep my eyes out for. Blech. I need a sip of tea. Gosh, I'm tripping over all my words. It's a 10. Definitely a 10. Dope. Maybe we should, split up. I want to make sure someone sees this thing. Oh, if that's the case, then I call dibs on Tabby. Fine, but Diana's coming along too. The three of us can search the least dangerous room, like a bathroom or a closet. No, absolutely not. I think we all know how that would go. Ghost or no, splitting up is always a recipe for disaster. Yeah, you're probably right. If we discover a ghost here, we should all discover it together. That's not exactly the angle I was going for, but okay. Yo, once we find the ghost, how are we gonna get rid of it? How does one bust such a thing? Well, my ghost hunting kit has symbols from every major religion, assorted holy books, a bunch of salt, and some jars for ectoplasm. And if worst comes to worst, we can always use the Ouija board to politely ask it to leave. Ouija boards are toys. The only power they have is scaring kids at slumber parties. I think I'd rather not take a chance. One ghost is enough to deal with. I don't much like the thought of opening a door for something worse. Wow, you've never been this superstitious, Dad. This ghost really has you freaked out. Okay. Oscar takes a deep breath before continuing. Let's head to Rosalina's room. Follow me. Oh my god, I love the posters on her wall. Teen interests. And many boys. That feeling again. Like the mines. Like the door to the clinic. A dusty, suffocating, dizzying feeling. Something is in this house. Though whether it's a ghost or something worse, you aren't sure. Whoa. This is where I've seen it. It appears on top of the stain. Do you mean this massive blood stain? It stinks to high heaven. Let's get a better look at it. Yep, that's big and nasty, alright. Yeesh, that's gotta be tough to scrub out. Doesn't the county own this house? Do they know about the damaged carpet? Have you seen your house? I don't see how that's relevant. County doesn't own my house. Weird, I'm not getting anything. It's not even cold. It's the same temperature as the living room. Nothing on the EMF either. Then your equipment is wrong. The stain is definitely paranormal. I scrubbed it out too many times to count, and it just keeps coming back. It's just a stain, Dad. Can't we just cover it back up? I don't mind sleeping in here. Let's get scientific about this. If you scrub the stain out a bunch, maybe that's part of a summoning ritual. I've never heard of a bleach-activated ghost before. You don't use bleach to clean a carpet, Tabitha. Whatever, how was I supposed to know that? Not everybody gets to learn how to clean things. If y'all are offering free carpet cleaning, be my guest. Gretchen says it's a blood stain. Gretchen says? Ghost blood. Or it's just a rusty pipe leaking all over your floor. I think that'd be a bigger problem than what Diana and Stella are suggesting. Have y'all tried ripping up the carpet to see what's causing the stain? The government owns this house. There's no way I'm leaving a big red stain on their carpet. I made sure it was pristine every morning. Besides, I also kind of assumed it was ghost blood, which it is. Don't worry, I'm sure they'll just take you to court for neglect instead. Did it not occur to you that there could be a leaky pipe under the floor? What if there's something written under there? Only one way to be sure. Stella excitedly starts tugging at the corner of the carpet. Are we digging? Let me help. This is my area of expertise, after all. Oh dear. You're doing the government a favor, really. Stella pulls back the carpet, revealing a hatch, the floor around it stained in reddish-brown. Okay, maybe I don't want to sleep in here. We're going down there, right? Of course we are. This is even better than finding a message. But there's no basement in this house. At least we weren't told about a basement. And look, all the red stuff is coming from underneath. Oh yeah, this is super haunted, alright. You've got a basement chock full of ghosts. I can just feel it. Y'all know last month was super rainy. It's clearly been a long time since anyone stepped foot in the basement or crawl space or whatever it is under that hatch. There must be a leak that flooded the whole area under the house. You know what? Here's something I remember from living in North Carolina. Houses didn't have basements in North Carolina. Maybe that was just because I lived near the coast and they were worried about flooding. Instead of basements, what we had, at least in the place where I lived, was something called a frog. That's short for finished room over garage. That's a room on the upper story of a house. It's not really an attic either, because it was just a room we could go hang out in there. We had a TV in there and everything. But it's large, and it's basically just a place where you can store stuff. Like a basement, but on higher ground. That's just a thing that I remembered all of a sudden. That is a thing in North Carolina. The water's dissolved the caulk around the edge and leaked through the carpet, and it's red because North Carolina has red-ass dirt. It's as simple as that. It's not mud, it's blood. Human blood, I tested it. Well, you tested it wrong, they both said at the same time. And they're not happy about it. It can't be blood, right? Kanika's right, you've got a muddy floor, and that's why it's so cold in here too. There's wet dirt under the house. Congratulations, we solved your ghost problem. Again. No way. There's an old hatch in the floor that someone tried to seal up. We're not leaving until we know what's down there. I'm with Stella. This is my room, and I need to know what's down there. Have you considered they may have tried sealing it up because it's unsafe? Uh-oh. Do you think the flooding could have made the house unstable? I'm all in on ghost hunting, but I don't know if I could crawl into another dangerous crevice. I'm going for it. Alright. Another sip. I need a lot of tea. Oh. Are those pictures of Rosalina? Or maybe Rosalina's like mother or grandmother? I don't know. These pictures might not even be real. I don't know why I'm drawing attention to them. You come to in Oscar's living room. You can't tell what time it is, and your friends are nowhere in sight. The building feels colder, and there's something about the air that feels wrong. It's stale, with an undercurrent of mold and earth. It makes you feel claustrophobic, as though you're in a coffin, each breath depleting what little oxygen is left. How did we end up back here? Where is everyone? Did we pass out again? Was there a gas leak in the basement or something? Some French cellar turned out to be. No. Is fainting some kind of weird family thing? Yeah, because every time Tabitha comes somewhere with us and we faint, she faints too. Is fainting some kind of weird family thing? Is there a genetic condition I need to be worried about? Not that I'm aware of. Nothing like this has happened before you got to town. Who knows what sort of nastiness was festering in that basement. Your cousin marches to the front door and opens it. Why does it look like Oscar's house is in front of us? Didn't we just leave? I must be misremembering things. Let's go. No, you're right. There shouldn't be a door there. Clearly, whatever was in that basement is messing with our heads. We just left Oscar's house. The library has to be on the other side of that door. The two of you cross the hallway and open the door. Something isn't right. It feels like a late summer afternoon. The air is warm and wet, and the scent of flowers drifts on the breeze. This! Is there a ditchling in here? Yes. Damn, Tabitha, what was in that cream soda? That's funny. Tabitha, please tell me I'm not the only one seeing that scratchy shadow in the distance. You're not. What the hell is that thing? Am I having a stroke? Are you having a stroke? Are we both having the same stroke at the same time? This is very interesting because I was going into this alone without Tabitha last time. What was in that cream soda? That's funny. That's a funny thing I can say because, sorry, I just got sent a funny picture. That's a funny thing to say because it's specific to our playthrough. Excuse me? It was just normal cream soda and you had it hours ago. This has nothing to do with me. There's gotta be an exit somewhere. We just have to look. Wait. Do you hear music? Movement stirs as a figure cloaked in shadows rises to attention. Stella? Who are you? What are you doing on my property? Bark, bark. Woof, bark. Huh? Holy shit, Stella, you scared me. Yeah, cut it out. Did you say Eddie? No one's called me that in a long time. It's Edwardine now. I'm not a child anymore. Edwardine? Eddie? You've got to be kidding me. Wasn't that our great-grandmother's name? And Tabitha knew her. Yes, and Stella knows that. Quit messing with us, Stella. It's not funny. I wish I could say the same. You should have stayed gone. And you absolutely shouldn't have shown up here, of all places. If you're caught, I don't think you understand what Father might do. Okay, so here we have the option to play along. In my first playthrough, I had the trait mystical. That allows you to know things about the supernatural elements at play in Scarlet Hollow subconsciously. Or not subconsciously, just intuitively. And the mystical trait gave me dialogue options that allowed me to respond to what these puppeteered versions of our friends were saying in a way that made sense. It allowed us to play along in a realistic way. So I just went with those lines and just went forward with it. Should I play along now? I think that that's kind of dumb, playing along without intuitively understanding what's going on. And I think at this point we haven't figured it out. Stella, I'm really scared right now. Arf, arf. I can't. It's not that easy for me. My brothers were sent to Normandy, and now I'm the only Scarlet left besides Father. I have responsibilities, Charlie. Shut up. Shut up! She can't. She's clearly possessed. By what? Edwardine Scarlet? Tabitha tenses. You should just get out of town while you still can. Whatever you came back for, it's not worth it. Let her go, Spirit. She's gone, along with the shadow in the corner of the room. Come on, we must have taken the wrong door out of the annex. We're getting out of here before anything else happens. Hold hands. Do you need to hold my hand? Are you scared? Hold my hand, Tabby, I'm scared. Or we should hold hands for safety. Not because either of us is scared. Actually, that might be a good idea. But only because I don't want us getting separated. She takes your hand. It trembles slightly in yours. Let's go back, alright? The two of you turn back the way you came. Where did the annex go? Let's try the door. But there can't be anything behind it. It's just standing there. You ignore her, walking forward and reaching for the doorknob. Bells ring as a cacophony rages outside. The door in front of you pulsates as figures unseen bang against it. The shaded figure from the garden sits in the corner, ever so slightly more defined. Are you kidding me? This is messed up. We need help. God, please let this call go through. Tabitha anxiously taps her foot as she waits for her phone to connect. Hey, it's... What? No, it's Tabitha. Didn't you see the caller ID? Stop interrupting me. Can't you hear what I'm... Cousin is cut off by the dial tone of a disconnected call. Great. She couldn't hear a word I said. It looks like we're on our own. Who were you calling? Your father has left town, Charlie. We're moving to a new house, okay? Okay, in this scene, Alexis was standing in the background. And also, when I was mystical, the characters didn't have their real names here. They had names like the lover, the mother, stuff like that. So it's very different when you're not mystical. There's that name again, Charlie. What a helpful clue. I'll make sure to write it down in case it comes in handy later. I know you're being sarcastic, but it's a good idea. If you want to write things down, be my guest, but I'm not interested in whatever little mystery is unfolding here. I just want this ghost to stop messing with us and spit us back out into the real world. He can't come back. We've got to live somewhere else now. But that'll be fun, right? There'll be new kids to play with. You can show them your little dolls. Hurry, sweetie. We don't have much time. I wonder if we should be paying attention to the symbolism in these rooms. Well, I see a bloody pickaxe, a puppet, crosses all over the place, a lamb with arrows sticking out of it. I have no idea what that means. That must be Charles Shaw. There's a mural of it in the library, which means that this happened right after the collapse of 1918. I feel like that dialogue option got messed up a little bit. What's that? And the pickaxe is probably emphasizing this place's connection to the mines too. Or she is referencing Charles Shaw as symbolism. I don't know. You can have fun doing this yourself. No, she can't come. I never want you to say her name again, do you hear me? We aren't friends with the Scarlets anymore. Oh God, They're outside. Are those torches? We don't have time, Charlie. We have to go right now. Rosalina is whisked away, leaving you and Tabitha in the empty room. As she departs, the front door stops pounding and opens into a beckoning white void. We're in hell. We both died and we're in hell. Who did you call on the phone earlier? Friend of the family. Not that it matters though. The call didn't go through, so we're on our own. Are we supposed to be Charlie? Is Charlie the ghost? I mean, obviously. Okay, let's put our heads together. What do we know? We know that we can't leave, and we know that we're not possessed, at least as far as we can tell. And whatever we saw in this room, at least, happened right after the Shaw mine collapse of 1918. I think the only option on the table for us right now is to keep doing what it wants us to do. Maybe it'll stop at some point, or maybe we'll figure out a way to escape. You're right. There's only one way to get to the end of this, shall we? Yeah, let's get this over with. You and Tabitha walk up to where the pounding door used to stand and step into the void. You're outside, and it's night, a false moon looming massive in the painted sky. The night feels thick and warm, the insects lively, their calls unnaturally tinny. Everything feels warped and wrong, like you're listening to a record fished from the bottom of a pond. Ugh, what magic words do we have to say to get you to let us go? We're sorry, okay? Whatever our family did to piss you off so much, we're sorry. You poor dear. I've been keeping track of you, scuttling around town like a tomcat. You've fallen hard for Miss Edwardine, haven't you? How did you know I have the hots for Edwardine? No. Okay, these scenes are out of order. This one must be after the garden and after the collapse. That's exactly what I was thinking. This has to be after he met back up with Edwardine. Wait, what am I doing? I refuse to get invested in figuring out this weird little puzzle. There's no need to be embarrassed. Your secret is safe with me. You know, I never did approve of what the Scarlets did to your family, and what it did to the two of you young'uns. Childhood sweethearts. Just think how lovely it would be if you could just be happy together. That's what you want, isn't it? The plot thickens. I get it already. The ghost has a bone to pick with our family. It doesn't have to keep harping on it. I'm sure by now you've realized the young lady doesn't plan on leaving with you. But it's not for lack of desire, as you well know. It's Enoch. Even if you dragged her over the town limits, his hold over her would make sure neither of you were ever happy again. Just think of what happened to your poor mother and father. Do you want that to be the two of you? What do you know about Enoch, Tabitha? A great-great-grandfather. He was in charge of the mines when they collapsed. Besides that, I don't actually know much about the man. What happened to our parents? Something tells me this secret tryst doesn't wind up working out. Yeah, I can tell you for a fact that our great-grandfather's name was not Charles. The powers at work here are stronger than even your love could withstand. You need to break the bonds holding her here. Then you can both go free. No more misfortune. Not for you, not for anyone else bold enough to step foot outside the holler. Kanika Mime's handing you something, though her hand is empty. Everything you need to know is on that map. I can identify some of the plants in this room for, I don't know, symbology's sake. There's Jimson weed, monk's hood, what's either Queen Anne's lace or poison hemlock. Some pretty toxic stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, heavily associated with witches. Could explain the moon as well. Okay, so there are evil plants. And the moon can mean anything, it probably just means that it's nighttime. That's where you'll find them. You need her there. Then read what I've written down. And be careful. Good luck to the both of you. I hope you get your happiness. And then she's gone. Tabitha sighs. Okay, let's find the way out. Unless you have any ideas, I don't think there's anything else we can do until we get to the end. Or until we die, whichever. Before the two of you can leave, a smell hits you. Sweating, suffocated flesh, with the tinge of the saccharine and stomach-churning scent of decay. There you are. I would have found you sooner, but the resident clearly doesn't want me here. He doesn't seem to have the same issue with these miserable little parasites. Bottom feeders always manage to slip through the cracks, don't they? Talk or remain silent? How did you get in here? You say it like that like it would be hard. Creatures like this are all smoke and mirrors. No substance. No real power. Just enough to keep you both going in circles. Tabitha grabs your arm, her grip tight and nervous. Oh, we're gonna see her reaction to Wayne. I haven't seen her and Wayne in the same room before. We're getting out of here. What an unfortunate situation you've been dragged into, Diana. Why can't you do as I ask and stay out of trouble? But that girl won't let you, will she? Stella? Is that her name? Perhaps I should pay her a visit soon, if she makes it out of here alive. Tabitha bolts for the underbrush, desperately pulling you along. Stella. Did you kill Sam Wayne? What? Tabitha, who the hell is he? If you see it again, ignore it, or better yet, run away. Did she kill him? Well, that's a weird thing for my character to say, which is why I didn't say it. Because if we talk to the miners when we break into the mine, they do tell us Sam Wayne was a miner who worked here, but he died. We haven't heard that information as Diana yet, though. So it would be weird to ask Tabitha, did you kill him? Because we don't know he's supposed to be dead. Come on, we need to keep moving. If that thing got in, there must be a way out. The two of you step out from the brush and into a long wooden corridor lined by bottles and rails. A figure rises to attention, blocking your way. I'm afraid he doesn't have long. If there's anything you need to say to him, I'd say it now. As Zane is swept away, the room pulls itself to you, and you find yourself looming over a deathbed. Oscar lies in the center, looking pitifully small. Oh god, those moans are awful! Oh my god! I'm sorry, boy. Sorry I let my troubles drive your mama away. And sorry those troubles mean I'm leaving you all alone now. Bottles and rails. There's liquor everywhere. And after the collapse, Senior was run out of town on a rail, hence all of the rails. The goat portrait back there is what the wounded lamb from the room with what Rosalina grew up to be. Same as the goat head in the garden, as in Charles Jr. Charlie. Yeah, that seems to sum it up, jeez. I kinda feel bad for the guy. Ugh. That's exactly what he wants us to feel, isn't it? Oscar looks so small and pathetic in that bed. Damn it, Junior, how many times do I have to tell you? I tried to stop it from happening, but that damn snake Enoch went behind my back. Oh, what bullshit. something on your mind? It was Charles Shaw's fault. That's just a fact. You know what they say about history? It's written by the victors. And Charles Sr. was clearly not a victor. As if the Scarlets were any kind of victors themselves. The collapse hurt their reputation too, you know. It took years for the mine to recover. You're right. I've been using that excuse for too many years. At a certain point, a man has to accept that he's dug his own grave. They may have run me out, but they didn't put the bottle in my hand. Still. They destroyed our legacy, boy. Both our names are cursed with that history. I'll be dead and gone soon, but I won't be able to rest. Not until our name is cleared. Not until you can pass on this name with pride. This is my only request, Charlie. Go back there. Tell people the truth. Try to find proof. I don't know what you'll have to do, but please. I know I ain't been the best father, but I'm no murderer. After the scene with Rosalina, before the scene with Stella? That sounds about right. Then the scene with Kanika. I wonder how many more of these there are gonna be. Well, we don't have Avery, so that's one very interesting one that we're not gonna get to see. Damn it, boy, I may not have till the morning. Promise me. Promise you'll go back, and at the very least show that Enoch bastard what for. I promise. You watch as Oscar's body seizes and falls through the sheets, taking the rattling pile of bottles with him. This ghost is so full of it. Your cousin steps forward and disappears through the hole left in the bed, leaving you to follow. You and your cousin find yourselves crouched under a large table. Stella stares through you, as indecipherable murmurs and shuffling feet echo from the ends of the table. I think I'm going to be sick. Yap, yap, yap. They're so lovely. Are you sure I can keep one? You must have worked very hard on them. No puppet for you then. This one is extra creepy. Is she doing a baby voice? Okay, so we know how to read her then. Neither of them ever left the shadow of their parents, did they? I guess not. I don't think either Charlie or Eddie really got what they wanted out of life. It doesn't justify what this ghost is doing, though. I'll try to keep it away from my brothers so they don't smash it, though I wish I could make it move like you can. Oh, and yeah, we have the lamb again. So, the lamb represents Charlie as a child, and the goat represents him as an adult. Okay. And you can even do the voices. You know, you could probably make real money if you put on a show for people. Even possessed Stella is out here trying to monetize hobbies. Lol. Let's not say mean things about Stella, though. If we're nearing the end of things, do we have a plan yet? If you're asking that question, then the answer is no. I'm waiting to see what happens once the show is over. A traveling show? And you'd want me there too? Oh, could we go to towns along the beach? I've heard the Outer Banks are the most beautiful place in the world. I wish we could go back in time all those years ago and tell them what we know. Me too. Thank you, Charlie. I've always wanted to see the ocean. There. Are you done now, Charlie? Can we leave? Everything crashes to a thunderous black before you or Tabitha can get in another word. And there he is. God, I love that little bit of animation. A single spotlight remains, illuminating a trapdoor in the center of the stage. You feel drawn to it. We're the final performers, aren't we? We must be. Which one of us is going to open the door? I'm scared. Me too. I'll do it. You carefully step towards the trapdoor. It creaks open all on its own. Oh God, this is so much worse than opening it ourselves. You and Tabitha are shoved from behind and tumble through the hatch. There it is. It took some digging, but it's there. The real Charlie. The map was right. That means there's hope, Eddie. Whatever it is that Enoch did, we can undo it. We can be happy together. Eddie? Oh God, I'm so sorry. Your cousin violently heaves into the void, but nothing comes up. There's nothing here. This place is completely empty. How do you know we're not related to Charlie? So Grandma Eddie was a murderer. I'm sure she had a good reason. This isn't very fair, you know. We only saw one side of the story. It's not like we can even get Aberdeen's perspective on things, unless she's also a ghost. Let's hope she isn't. Ugh, what now? Do you repent? Do you repent for your crimes? I'm sorry you died. Don't answer it. You must answer for the crimes committed by your Scarlet blood. Are you kidding me? I hate it here. I hate it here so much. Until you do, I cannot die. I want to die, please. I have been alone in the dark for so long. Yeah, so, Charlie's body. It never really occurred to me that Charlie's body was physically there. Underneath the floorboards. Like, I knew that he died here, and that's why he's haunting the place, but no, he's still physically a corpse down there, isn't he? Yikes, poor Rosalina, jeez. All I ask is for some of your years, to pay for the years that were taken from me. What are you saying? My life was stolen from me. I want some of yours. It's only fair. No. It is absolutely not fair. You've got to be kidding me. Neither of us had anything to do with what happened to you. The sins of the father are to be laid upon the children. One of you must forfeit, it doesn't matter which. Bullshit! You're on trial here, aren't you? Advocate for yourself. Advocate for yourself. If you're putting us on trial, you need to give us a chance to present our case. Yeah, we have rights, you know. I take it you have a plan, then? Your plea is met with silence, but silence isn't judgment. Keep talking. Tabitha knew Grandma Eddie. You're losing sight of things. You want revenge or justice. You don't need anything from us to move on. The memories are not anchored in reality. Why should the sins of our forefathers be passed on to us? Were Charles Shaw's sins passed on to you? In life, did you want to punish Edwardine and Enoch, or did you want to move on and build a brighter future together? More silence. Keep going. You're losing sight of things. Do you want revenge, or do you want justice? We can help actually right the wrongs of your past, but only if you let us go. A fresh tension bubbles up in the air. You're almost out of this. You don't need anything from us to move on. Whether you realize it or not, nobody is keeping you here but you. We can't give you closure. The jury box is pulled away as you and Tabitha are brought face to face with the spirit. It's time for your closing argument. You hated the way your father destroyed your family. Don't become what you despise so much. You've kept yourself a prisoner here just like you've kept us. All you have to do is let go. After all these years, someone has finally heard you. We're going to find out the truth. Yeah, that one. After all these years, someone has finally heard you. We're going to find out the truth of what happened to you, Charlie. You can finally rest because your burdens are now ours. Silence. What's going on? Oh my god, are we banishing it? The rooms are transforming back into what they once were. Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh. Oh. And we see the puppeteer for what he truly was. Just a lost and scared young man. And then everything fades to black. The haunted turnabout. Win a trial. That's the achievement I just got. Nice. And of course, the achievement picture is a picture of Phoenix, right? You and Tabitha come to an abasement, a mound of packed dirt in front of you. Your friends are nowhere to be seen, though Sybil remains standing in the stairwell, as if she's been patiently waiting for you to get up. Ah, the spirit is gone, and the two of you are back, and both of you are whole. Yeah, I was surprised. I wasn't expecting Booksmart to get me out of that. I knew that last time, okay, what happened last time, I was not given any option to get out of it. It was either give me some of your years or the haunting will continue, and I was scared to give the ghost my years. I didn't want to surrender to him, so I just let the haunting continue. Oscar and Rosalina had to move out, and I felt really bad, but I was scared of what would happen. I knew that if Tabitha comes with you, then there's the option for her to have the years taken instead. So I kind of wanted to see that happen, but I think getting rid of the ghost is better. Just letting the ghost go is better than, either of us losing years. So this is a good outcome. I'm fine with it. And I'm surprised that Sybil is here. I have to admit that this is quite an unexpected outcome. Excellent work, Diana. Yeah, especially because I keep letting people die. I hope you don't mind, but I took advantage of the distraction to free everyone else. They're all outside. Take all the time you need to collect yourselves. I'll see you out there. Sybil heads up the stairs, leaving you and Tabitha alone in the basement. Huh, so that actually worked. I have got to stop picking fights with you. Investigate the shallow ground. Before you go, you decide to investigate the shallow ground in the middle of the room. Tabitha follows close behind you and watches as you dig. There he is. Charlie's mummified remains stare up at you, sad and broken at the bottom of the pit. There's another stone carving down here, just like the one we saw in the mines last night. This must have been where the map took him. Your cousin stands in contemplative silence. We shouldn't leave him here, right? Maybe we can come back tomorrow and give him a proper burial. Thanks, Tabitha. That means a lot. In regards to, I'm not picking an argument with you ever again. Yeah, whatever. Let's just get out of here, okay? You're outside. It's real this time. A cool autumn breeze blows small piles of dried leaves across the steps of the library. Finally, we're out of the fun house. I'm gonna go wait by the car. The last thing I want to do after all that is talk to people. Gosh, wasn't that sequence so disturbing, but so beautiful in the way it was constructed? Just the backgrounds, those like photorealistic, hyper-detailed backgrounds that were moving. You don't get a lot of motion in this game, and that was really cool to see. I love that sequence a lot. Tabitha doesn't wait for you to respond, pushing past you and heading towards the car. I'm gonna peace out too. Back-to-back encounters with my own mortality. I've got a lot to ponder. See ya, Rosalina. Zane walks off down the road. How are we supposed to know it would be like that? Things have been strange around town, sweetie. Now's not the time to be poking around in the supernatural. I thought you learned that lesson yesterday. But magic isn't real. I mean, it's not supposed to be. God, that hurt. Everything is so sore. Diana, is it really gone? It was a bit of a Hail Mary, but yeah, it's gone and I didn't have to sacrifice anything. You're too modest. It's a considerable feat to reason with a spirit like that. I can't believe you actually got us out of there. And you got our house back. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'll do my best to make it up to you. To think that ghosts are actually real, I mean, I don't know what hard evidence we have. We all vividly experience the same thing. Stella's gotta be over the moon right now. Where is Stella? I kind of thought she'd be excitedly rattling off theories by now. Oh, she's just standing there, by herself. That isn't like her. Hey Stella, are you okay? What? Oh. Yeah, I'm fine. I'll see you guys later. She hurries off down the road. What if she's still possessed? Like, maybe the ghost left a piece of itself in her before I got rid of it. I think she's just having a hard time. Should we go after her? The spirit is gone, Diana. Well, it certainly left its mark on all of you. Whatever is bothering Stella right now is entirely mundane in nature. I think she just needs some time to herself. Stella's never been the kind to share her burdens, and I doubt that'll change. Just because somebody goes chasing after her. If anything, it'd just make her clam up even more. She's a strong girl. She'll be okay. I'm honestly surprised she and Zane are the only ones heading out right now. You've all been through something awful, and each and every one of you needs rest. Especially you, Kanika. We don't want that cold of yours to get any worse. There was another carving in there. They keep giving me visions. I wonder if those things are tied to everything supernatural that's been happening. Yeah, I wonder. One is a coincidence, but two of them back-to-back nights? And if you and Stella are right and there's another one at the clinic, I'm sorry, I'm a little lost. You've been finding carvings around town and they've been giving you visions? I'm sure everyone here could stand around theorizing about this and that all night long. There'll be plenty of time for that tomorrow. Diana, if you have the time, I'd love to discuss these visions over tea, after you've had the chance to get some rest. I can't believe I let Rosalina go in there. How could I have been so careless? After everything she went through in the last day, how could I have let this happen? You actually tried pretty hard to warn us about things, Oscar. None of us took you seriously enough. Well, I should have done a better job warning you. I should have known how bad it could have gotten in there. I shouldn't have let Rosalina come with us. Dad, what did I tell you? Stop blaming yourself. You couldn't have stopped me. If you tried, I was just gonna sneak in after you. You didn't put a ghost in our house. This is not on you. I know you've both had a difficult time of this, but the storm has passed, and everything's worked out. Things will start getting better from here. Were you all conscious that whole time? Everyone glances at each other. Though none of them gave any of their years away, you can see how exhausted they are, how unsettled. Yeah. I'm pretty sure we remember everything. At least up until Sybil showed up and snapped us out of it. Do any of you know who you were supposed to be? No idea. There was no context, nothing. But there was a weird feeling, like an overwhelming guilt. I was mostly just scared. I didn't feel any of those things. I don't know how to describe it. I felt powerful. What was it like being puppeted? They all glance away. It hurt. Why didn't I make Rosalina stay behind? I can't believe I let that happen to her. Dad, this might be the overwhelming pain and exhaustion talking, but shut up. I love you. You didn't do anything wrong, okay? I had no idea what I was going to say until the words were already spilling out, but I remember each and every one of them. It's like they were burned into my memory. You poor souls. I can't begin to imagine what you've all been through. Let's continue not talking about Wayne. I should head back with Tabitha. And I should probably head back inside. It's starting to get chilly out, and there's still work to do to get Rosalina set up for the night. Don't be a stranger, and let us know if you need anything, Oscar. I will, thank you. All of you, again. I believe it's time for me to get my daughter home as well. But, Kanika dear, you haven't been feeling well. You need to get some rest. Okay. Kanika wearily treks back to the general store. Before I go, Sybil places a hand on your arm, holding you back for a moment. I'm sure you have questions about everything you saw tonight, but let's not get into it here. I think everyone can use a little rest and relaxation right now, yourself included. If you swing by the tea room sometime tomorrow, say early afternoon, you and I can have a little chat. I'll see you then, Diana. Sybil leaves you and catches up to her daughter. Time to wrap things up here. The ride back is quiet, but not tense. Tabitha looks lost in thought as her glazed eyes stare at the winding mountain road. Thanks for coming along tonight. That place would have been a lot worse without you. Don't mention it, we're family. Do you trust me now? I don't like to answer questions like that. They're the sort of thing Pearl Ann would turn into a weapon. There was always an ulterior motive with that woman. But yeah, sure, I trust you. You slide back into silence as the car makes its way back to the estate. You're back inside. After the events of this evening, the howling winds and unsteady creaks of the estate almost feel like a warm welcome. Well, we're back. I still can't believe we all made it out in one piece. Oh, she called Sybil. How did you know to call Sybil? Who else would I have called? The cops? I believe you've seen their competence on full display. Besides, I'm sure you've heard the old woman talk. If anyone in this town would have known how to deal with a ghost, it'd be her, right? Not that we needed the help, apparently, but how was I supposed to know you were able to just talk a ghost into submission? Do you think Stella is okay, like emotionally? She wandered off back there. I'm worried about her. She has an uncanny way of bouncing back from things. She'll be fine. Alright. I want to talk about Wayne. Really talk. Your cousin sighs. What do you want to know? Do you think he's actually going to hurt Stella? No, he's a creep, but I don't think he has it in him to hurt her. And I don't know if you've noticed, but Stella is irritatingly resourceful. She'll be fine. Why is he following me? He's a creep, stalking his ex's cousin. What? Ex? What? 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 You dated that guy? All the more... What? All the more reason not to talk to him. He's a different man now. Stay away from him. This is new information to me. Why is he all gross? He's sick or something. Probably part of why he's such a creepy weirdo now. I don't know if it's contagious, but I wouldn't rule it out, so don't go near him. You really don't want me talking to him. What does he know that you're afraid I'll find out? I just know him. Please trust me when I say he's bad news. Alright, I think it's time for me to turn in. That's a good idea. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Don't keep poking around looking for trouble. You just have to make it to the funeral. 4 more days, that's all. And then the bus comes. I'd like to stay in touch after all this is done. Maybe we could do that. It has been kind of lonely being the only Scarlet in our generation. It would be nice to have someone else in the family. We'll see how things go. Anyway, night. See you tomorrow. Time to go to bed. You don't even notice yourself entering the guest room and falling into bed. Suddenly, you're just there, buried under your family's musty covers. It's Wednesday night. Nearly half a week has passed since you first arrived in town, and a little over half a week remains until the bus comes to take you home. The spirit of Charles Shaw Jr. has been put to rest, but disaster still looms over the town of Scarlet Hollow. Still, tonight was a good night, and you fall asleep with a gentle, well-earned smile on your face. Twilight Saga for Booksmart and Beast Boy for Talk to Animals. Alright. We saved, and I'm going to end the episode. That was Chapter 3. Chapter 4 is coming, and I'm going to be honest, I'm a little scared for Chapter 4. Chapter 4 is when both of the goals that I set out to do in this playthrough will come to fruition. Romancing Reese and getting Stella and Tabitha together, and I'm so scared that I'm gonna fail both of those. Like, not getting Stella and Tabitha together, sure, that's a simple fail. Like, they just don't get back together. But failing to romance Reese is not just a fail, it is a big fail. You can fail that in a very big way, and I'm scared that something bad is going to happen. But I'm very pleased with how episode 3 turned out for us. Better than I thought it would. I thought one of us was going to have to give up her years, but nope. It's all good. So, I have been Mars, and I will be back with more Scarlet Hollow.